Hey everyone, Joe here. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can get this photo from this photo. Let's hop in here and get to this. Okay everybody, let's take the photo that we're going to be editing and open it up in the Develop module. Okay. Now this is a photo I took in Seoul, South Korea quite a few years ago, and if you're probably wondering why everything is leaning the way it was, well, I was on top of a rooftop of the hotel I was staying, and I was having trouble getting my, basically get everything in view because of the roof, the way everything was up there on the platform. So, I kind of got everything a little crooked, a little thing out of, due to the wide angle lens. Everything's kind of distorted a little bit, but that's okay because in Lightroom, we can correct that. So let's go down and do the lens corrections and edit the transform to get this, looking a little bit better. Alrighty. Look on this. As you can see, my Canon EFS 10-22 lens was picked up. And if anybody's ever used a wide angle lens, they know if you kind of tilt the lens slightly to the east or west, up or down, it can really distort things and blow my proportion. That's why we now have to go in and kind of correct that in the transform. Now, unfortunately, this does mean we're going to have to crop it as soon as we get done doing this, but hey, you got to do what you got to do to get the photo, folks. That's all that matters. All right, vertical here. I think I pulled this -10, I believe it was. Yeah, -10. Let me see if I can get that nailed just right because it's really hard. There we go, -10. And that got the distortion stuff kind of fixed a little bit from where the lens was tilted. I believe I was aiming up a little bit, which is the reason it did that. But I was also didn't mean to have it so tilted to one side as much as it is. Now we have to rotate it. And to fix that, I need to add a +2 weight to the rotation here. And I believe that got everything cleared up. And we see, yeah. As we can see, looking at the guides now, the building is straight, and also the tower in the far background is also straight. But obviously, you can see all the little checkered parts and stuff. This means we're going to have to do some cropping. And I'm going to go ahead and crop this to 16:9, just so we can get most of that out. It's a shame because it loses a lot of detail, and it means it loses a lot of the picture clarity that we could have had. So let's pop this down to 16:9 and kind of look at my photos here. See if I can't get this cropped in the way I did in the original image. So let me pull this back a little bit and pull this up. See about writing there. And I think that's going to be close enough to be just honest with you. So anyway, that's close enough. And we can see I got a lot of that cleared out. So boom. There we go. Alrighty. So we got our image here, distortion fixed, got the cropping fixed. So now we need to add some details and stuff. Now to get that done. And it's just right up here above it. We'll do the AID noise right quick. It clears everything up quite neat. And I think it's only at about 50. Also, you have 50% on it or whatnot. You can always bring it up more if you want to, or if you find it's doing too much, you can also just lower it. This works out just fine for me. Okay, the sharpening here. Well, first we're going to mask it. Hit your Alt key or Option key on your Mac. Alt if you're using PC. We can get this down here, and we can mask a lot of this out. Stuff that we don't want sharpened. See here, pull this back somewhere around. Where did I have this originally? Around 40? Yeah, just the buildings and the towers and a couple of the stars in the sky. Yeah, that's what I want sharpened. Okay. Now let's go over here to the amount. The amount that I used here was, let's see, check it out, around 90, because I really need to sharpen this image up. This is an old lens, folks. It's oldie but goldie. I am trying to sell this lens. Hopefully somebody will buy it here in the Philippines, because I am replacing it with a new lens here soon. Okay, got that done. I am going to lower the radiance a little bit. Now, the reason I'll lower the radiance is is to make the sharpening edges and stuff a little more sharper, a little more fine, instead of as big. But always remember, folks, sharpening for the size you're going to be printing to, or for the image size that you're going to be exporting to. There is no one rule fits all for when it comes to sharpening. Okay, the detail here. What did they have the detail at? I think that detail, I brought it up just a little bit, just about 30. Yeah. And that works out pretty good. Now, image looks nice and sharp. Yes. Not too bad for 30-year-old lens. Yes, I think that looks quite well now. Perfectly good for like a 2 foot or so, print. Maybe 18 by 24 would be excellent for this. But now we'll get that done. We need to go up and set our color stuff. And our color is no color. We are going black and white on this one, folks. Yeah, I don't know. I thought black and white for this one looks the best. Now, you can choose whichever one you want, on your own photos. But for this one, I thought black and white did the better. Okie doke. So now get that done. The white balance I'm going to leave as shot. The temperature was 4750 with a tint of +8. That's what came out of the camera, and that was fine and dandy for me, so I thought it looked fine to me. Exposure here. Now, exposure, we're going to leave it 0. Contrast, we're going to leave it 0. We are going to be adding some contrast, but in a little bit different way, so those won't get touched for this photo. However, our highlights, shadows, whites, and blacks will be adjusted. I'm going to pull back the highlights here, like a -70 is what I had. That'll bring back a lot of that lost detail and stuff. You can see before and after, there's a lot of that detail and those lights that were lost. This pulls that back. A lot of the dynamic range, not details. Well, same thing, potato. And the shadows, we're going to boost those to +40. And they kind of brighten up the shadows a little bit. Not too much, just a little bit. That we can see more of the image. Now the whites, we're going to split that between the shadows and the blacks. 20. I can get it on there just right. Originally I had 20. Yeah, I just want to make sure it's correct for the final image. And we can see what we've did so far without, with. Yeah, that makes the image look a little more natural. If you was colorblind, at least. Now, we're going to add some texture and clarity to this one. We'll not be touching the dehaze for this one, but texture will add a bit more pop to it. So I'm pull this up to 40 on the texture. And we can see that does help a lot. And the clarity, I brought that up. What did I bring that up to? Yeah, +30 on the clarity. And this is really helpful for a black and white photo, because you want the black and white photos look a little more harsh. And I just think that just looks really nice because it gives more detail to black and white photos. So it's going to be before and after so far what we're getting done here. I like it. I like it a lot. Yeah, looks really nice. Especially like down here, you see the bricks and stuff right above this car. You see without, kind of more blown out, a little more detail there. All that bricks and stuff looks so nice. Okay. Now, I guess that one done. Let's go down to our tone curve here. Now, I am going to add a little bit of film noir look to this. So the first one we're going to pull up here. We're going to leave it set to 0, but for the output here, oh yeah, make sure we are on whites. We want to bring these up a little bit. Now, I think I had this one on 0 and 25 for the output. Remember, folks, you can highlight over these numbers and pull left to right. I find it just much easier to input the information in, especially when trying to reproduce the photo again on, in a tutorial. So that one, the second one, I had around 40/40. Pull these down here. Like they just add the point, drag it over to 40 here. And drag this down to 40 also. Yeah, you can see how it's starting to make the shadows look really nice. Now our third point, we can pop up right here. And we're going to bring this one up to 190. that one for his input. The output on that one was 200. That's going to brighten it up a lot more. And right back down. Yeah. And of course, the final one, we're going to leave it 255, 255. So you can see what this looked like, before, after. I think it gives it more of a film noir look. You tell me down in the comments below, did you like that look? Did you think it looks better without it or with it? Okay. Black and white section. We're not going to touch it on this one because when I went through and did the editing stuff, I found out everything just kind of laid out where I wanted them. It didn't need to. Besides, this tutorial is really about had to add that freaking moon that doesn't exist. Because here's the problem with this photo. Other than I'm a horrible photographer and I got it all crooked, but the sky is kind of boring. We see about one star, and I think maybe one or two others barely hidden up in there. Yeah, it's not very entertaining looking photo. That's why I've been sitting on this one for so many years. So we're going to fix that. Okie doke. Now we're almost done for global settings here. I do want to go down to post-crop vignetting, and this is very subtle, just -5, and that's it. The default settings, highlight priority, that was it. You can see it's almost not even noticeable, just enough to kind of make your eyes point to the center without realizing there's a vignette here. Okie doke. Now, go to some masking. Got 2 easy masks here. The first one, just going to do a Luminance Mask. It's kind of a real easy way of kind of doing some dodging and burning without having to spend all day doing it. So do Luminance range here. Alrighty. And bring this over. All the way over there. So the first one should be around 75 out of 99. Right there. Second one, 100 out of 100. Boom. All right, now we can see everything in red here is what this get applied to. So all this, down the lower areas and stuff, we're all going to bloom up and get much brighter, especially when I add the exposure up just a little bit here. The exposure I went with just, 1/5 of a stop? Yeah, 0.2. For y'all not good with maths, 0.20 is 1/5. Boom, 1/5 of a stop. Alrighty. Now, doing that, we're going to pull back just a little bit on the contrast, like a -50. Well, a little bit. -50 is a little more than just a little bit. But this is kind of make it a little more hazier. I think that looks nice. However, the highlights, we are going to pull back a -20 on those, and that's just so everything doesn't get too blown out. We want to retain some details while adding light. And we can see what this looks like without it, and with it. Just adds a little more bloom to everything. Looks quite nice. Okay, for our second mask here, we're going to select the sky. We'll select sky here. And we can see it automatically masks out everything for the sky. I really do like that. Now for this one, we're going to go -1 on the exposure here. Just because I really want to darken down that sky. That makes this land and everything, the building stuff, seem to be much brighter. You can see without or with it. It's an artistic choice. Let me know down in the comments if you think it looks better with it or without it. But wait until you see what it looks like after we add the moon in. And that's what we're fixing to do next. So now we got to go back over to the library, take the image we're going to been editing on here, and let's open it up in Photoshop. Alrighty. So let's go down here and we find Edit in Adobe Photoshop 2026. Okay, now we have the main image. Let's bring in our moon. Right, take our moon, also open it up in Adobe Photoshop. And we can see my blurry photo of the moon here. Forgot what I took that on. First thing we need to do is unlink the background so it becomes actual regular layer. Then we can go down to edit, go copy, then go back over to other tab here and go to edit and paste. And boom, there's our moon. Quite large, but we are going to shrink it down to look much nicer in here. Forgot what I was doing to get that looking the way it was. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to add a layer mask to this. Now, to do this, I am going to use a shape, and that shape is a circle. So let me first get the circle tool out here and do a vector circle. Alrighty. Now, a little hint here. Take your ellipse that we're drawing here and lower the opacity to something like 40% so we can see the moon under here. It's very important we get to see the moon because it's not exactly a perfect circle. And let me see here. What was it? Yeah, the control, I believe. Yeah, the control lets you break out of that being locked into a perfect circle. For some reason or other, my moon wasn't a perfect circle. That could be the way the tilt and everything was, but I think that looks pretty good right there. All right. Now bring the opacity of that ellipse back up, the circle. Now you want to click on it. Now, hold the control button on your keyboard before you click on the ellipse here so we can drag it over into layer 1. That's probably the command button on the Mac, but for the PC, it is control. Click that, drag it over, and drop it on there. All right. Before you wonder what went wrong, just look at the ellipse layer up here, hide that, and boom. There is our moon now. So now we can shrink that down. Now, we got that done. Moon looks sort of natural. We can now close this and close out the original moon. Click no on it. We close this one. They ask us to save it. Yes, we're going to save it. It's going to save it as a Photoshop file, PSD. Let's get that done. We can go back into our desktop here. We can see our photo is now sitting here. Now, I do want to do one more thing to this. I do want to brush on a little bit more exposure onto the moon here. So I'm going to go over here. Let's go back into the develop module. And let's grab our brush tool. Go to local adjustments. Grab brush. And oh, that looks about right. Just click on there. Boom. Add that. All right. For this one, I am going to boost the exposure up again. Just 1/5 stop. 0.2. Okay. Let me see. What was it? No, actually, I went higher on that one. Excuse me. I thought that looked a little dim. Do half a stop here. 0.5. Yeah, brighten it up quite a bit on the exposure. And then I want to add more texture and clarity to it, if I'm not mistaken. Let me look on this one. Texture, yeah, plus 40. Let's go up on that one a little bit. Plus 40 on the texture. Wonderful. And a little bit of clarity, also clarity. 40 on it. Wonderful. Yeah, now the moon looks like it actually fits in this photo. Wonderful. See what that looks like without it, with it. Yeah, it fits the whole theme of the image much better. And there we go, folks. So tell me what you think about this. Do you think it looks pretty good? If not, let me know. If you do, also let me know. Comments really help. And also, if you like this, make sure you share the video with your friends if you really do like this type of video and this type of content. So anyway, before we finish the video up, let's do a little before and after. Okay, everybody. So that's it for this video. I hope everybody found it helpful. And if you did, how about give me a thumbs up? Thumbs up's always highly appreciated. And if you're not a subscriber to my channel, now's a great time to subscribe. Subscribing's free, it's for you, and let you know when I release more videos. Until next time, everyone, thank you for watching.